Hello, hello. Welcome to day 1059 of Connecting the Thoughts. Code for today is your narrative guides your flow. And what do I mean by that? What is your narrative? What is your narrative about yourself? What is the story that you've been telling others and to yourself? What you've been speaking about yourself to others and yourself is how your flow in life is going to be guided. More on that on the other side of the show reel. Thank you for joining. Welcome back to the conversation. Code for today is very interesting. It's all about narratives. It's all about how you are showing up. What is the story that you've been telling? It's about your narrative guides your flow. And what do I mean by that? The story that you tell to others and yourself about yourself is the narrative. And when you own your narrative, whether you own your narrative or not, let me take a step back. Whether you own your narrative or not, whether you take it up or not, how you show up will reflect what opportunities come your way, will reflect in the way you see yourself, in the way you present yourself, in the who you are being in the moment. So, how do you then shift the flow? You shift the flow by shifting the narrative. You shift the narrative by looking at what are those limiting beliefs that are probably holding you back. What are those things that are kind of becoming the story that you dwell on constantly? The narrative that you constantly bring to the table when you're in conversation. And this could be in conversation with friends, this could be in conversation with family, with your peers, with people that you're working with. What is it about yourself that you keep saying over and over and over again? What is your narrative? And it is your narrative that is going to define the flow for you. Give me a yes if this sits well with you, if you resonate with what I'm saying, or if you've ever met somebody who's constantly on loop with the same story over and over again, and hence they never get off that loop. It's kind of like the hamster in the cage, where they're on that wheel, constantly on running and running and running. The narrative doesn't change, the story doesn't change, and so the pattern of life also does not change. If you're a constant complainer, you're going to find more to complain about. If you're a constant, if you're someone who's constantly in gratitude, you're going to find more to be grateful for. So the question I ask you is, what would you like your narrative to be? What would you like your narrative to be so that it's so powerful, so that it guides your flow, it guides the flow? It's going to be the reason that you get more opportunities in life. It's going to be the reason you have more empowered relationships. It's going to be the reason you make an impact in the world. And it doesn't have to be all the people in the world, but it can be your world to start with. What if you could make that impact? Hi, Cindy. What if you could make that impact? See that smile? That's the impact she makes for me. So thank you for being that person. So what is your narrative? What is your narrative, and how does it impact your flow? How does it guide your flow? Quite literally, who you're being in the moment is what's going to guide the way opportunities come your way, or the way things are going to show up for you, or how you can recognize even and have the awareness. Hello, Abdurrahim. Hello, hello. So yes, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being part of this conversation. Tell me, what have been those times, those pivotal points in your life where you've realized, you were probably being a little cranky or bitter or angry. And then because of that, you did not hold on to some opportunities, or some opportunities just slipped away because you were probably not in the right mindset. And on the other hand, probably opportunities came to you because you chose to drop all your stories, all your emotional baggage, all the past that you had, the limiting beliefs, and said, yes, I'm going to say yes to life. Works both ways. So either opportunities have come to you because you've decided to be somebody, or opportunities have been lost because, again, you decided to be somebody. So who you are, what your narrative is in a moment, is what is going to guide the flow. So these are my thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this? What do you think about the power of a story, the power of a narrative? Are you going to sit there saying, poor me, why is this happening to me? Or are you going to say, try me, I can manage this? It's the same situation, but it just depends on what you're thinking and who you are being in that moment. Are you going to be a warrior, or are you going to be a victim? The choice is definitely yours. And you also need to remember to be kind to yourself, to be graceful. And yes, resilience is important, but it's also important for you to be kind to yourself, to be gracious and courteous to your own self too. So these are my thoughts on narrative. These are my thoughts on flow. I'd love to hear from you, your thoughts. If this resonates with you, please write in comments saying, am, I am gracious. Let's use a different word today. I am gracious. I am kind. I am gracious. I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to be courteous with myself. And I'm going to make sure that I can pay attention to what is going on in my world and who I would like to show up as in the situation. Cindy says, and it can change from moment to moment depending on who you are at the time. Yes, and hence I said who you are in that moment. It's quite literally like both of us said it together. Thank you, Cindy. Abdurrahim says, look for possibilities in any situation. Yes, look for possibilities. Be the warrior, not the victim. I am gracious. Thank you in comments. If this has been of value to you, and if you think you have someone who needs to receive this message, if you would feel a friend, a family member, a peer, somebody needs to receive this message today so that they can stand more powerfully in their story, in their narrative, do share it, give the video some like, some love, share it with friends and family. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you. One sec before I go, sorry. We have later tonight somebody coming on board who is going to speak to us about handwriting analysis. So, what does your script, what does your scribbling, what does your writing, what does your handwriting say about you? This is going to be a very different kind of a conversation. So, if there's something that you ever wondered about yourself, have you ever wondered why you write in a particular way, in a particular flow and style when you're happy, and sometimes when you're really like, not in the right headspace, why your handwriting goes all squeaky and all scribbly? Now's the conversation. That this is the conversation to join in. We're going live at the usual time of 9 p.m. UAE time, which is like around close to 5 hours from now is when we're bringing her on board. She is amazing in what she does. And if you have any questions about handwriting, do come along and ask. Handwriting analysis, what your handwriting says about you, is going to be the conversation. This is going to be fun. Join us. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so much. I am gracious in comments if this has been of value to you.